Okay. Yeah. Okay. Long as I knew. And keychains. Let's go. Oh, let's think there's another one up here. Hang on. Is this today? This is last week's. This is mine. Is there another one under here somewhere? Was it with your music? Okay, you found it? Good. There's a book. Oh, it was just here. I just always have this in my regular pattern book. I have like all the major books tagged. It's a little hard to see it because so many little tabs are. I was afraid they're gonna fall out and stuff. I'm like, what? No, it's better than nothing. We're not ready yet. That's a short rest.
Shabbat Shalom. Our service begins with Shalom Aleichem on page 142, using the page numbers in the brackets.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Shalom, Shalom. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom, Malachei Hashalom,
Shabbat Shalom. It has been quite the week. Fires still rage throughout Southern California as 100,000 people are displaced from their homes. Presidential inauguration comes in a few days and a change in our world. Israel and the Middle East are hopefully facing a peace agreement that starts on Sunday and a time for rebuilding and returning home of those who have been absent for far too long. And the Mets probably aren't going to sign Pete Alonso. All of these things are nothing we can do about right now in this moment, but we can draw hope and strength and community from each other to face the world that is up ahead and to be strong and powerful in our own lives to connect with others and make this a safe and a blessed world. On this Shabbat, we celebrate the legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King as we hold on to his values and his blessings in our lives throughout our service. But this Shabbat has other special moments to it. As Justin O'Brien celebrates his bar mitzvah this Shabbat with his family and friends, and we are delighted to welcome Justin up to the bima to help lead us in our candle blessing tonight, along with his parents, Nicole and Jim, and his brother Jackson. Page 121 in your prayer books, using the second set of page numbers, the page numbers in the brackets.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue with the Kiddush on page 123. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon, hinkilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, lemikrae kodesh, zeker letziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinkaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh hashabbat lechaim, L'chaim. Take an opportunity to find someone around you you don't know and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. See you back up here for the Via House.
What's next? I don't even know.
Please be seated. Tonight, we're delighted to have Gwen Leifer and Julie Alexander join us in leading music again. Cantor is unfortunately under the weather, but we're glad to bring them back for a repeat performance after last week's beautiful leading of music. They're back again so wonderfully, and we're so grateful to them. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. lived in challenging times. What would he have to say about the world we live in now? At an inflection point in world history, he would have wisdom and courage to guide us towards community and love. Tonight, we celebrate Dr. King's legacy. Inspired by his actions and insight, he continues to offer ways to respond to hatred, bigotry, violence, and discord. At his Nobel Prize acceptance speech in 1964, Dr. King shared these words: "Faith can give us courage to face the uncertainties of the future. It will give our tired feet new strength as we continue our forward stride toward the city of freedom. When our days become dreary with low-hanging clouds and our nights become darker than 1,000 midnights, we will know that we are living in the creative turmoil of a genuine civilization struggling to be born." Tonight, we reflect on his words and message as we share our prayers and possibilities for the world ahead. We continue with Lecha Dodi, welcoming this Shabbat, page 138, as we share together in verses 1 and 2, and then rise for verse 9. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nikabelah. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nikabelah. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el haynu chad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, L'shem lo tiferet ve'letila. Please rise.
Bo'il shalom, ateret ba'ala,
Gam b'simcha uv'sola.
toch emunei am segula, bo'ich hala, bo'ich hala. Lecha dodi, likrot kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi,
Likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela. We continue with our call to worship the Barhu on page 146. We continue on our prayer handouts. We read together. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Hate multiplies hate, violence multiplies violence, and toughness multiplies toughness in ascending spiral of destruction. The chain reaction of evil, hate begetting hate, war producing more wars, must be broken, or we shall be plunged into the dark abyss of annihilation. Looking towards the love that we can bring into the world, that we can use as our shield and strength, even when darkness is around us. We continue with Ahavat Olam on page 150.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Ahavat
Please be seated. We continue with the Via Hafta on page 154, and we invite our bar mitzvah Justin to join us on the bima.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We've been saying a prayer consistently for a year and a half now on page 159, a prayer that speaks of coming home with hope that the ceasefire that has been signed comes into action on Sunday, brings people home, allows people to return to their homes, and allows a sense of peace to fill the Middle East, to Israel, to Gaza, and everywhere. We share this prayer together on 159. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of world redeemed, the song of peace. Mi Chamocha on the facing page. For peace over our heads, over all those who need peace. Hashkivenu in the middle of your prayer handouts. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. turn to the Tefillah, beginning with the prayer on the bottom of the first page of your handouts, and then continuing on page 166 and using the even-numbered pages only. Please rise in body and in spirit.
Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'mevii Geulah Livnei Bneihem, V'leman Shemo V'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Michayei HaKol, Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Michayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim. Somek noflim berofer kolim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, mikamocha bal gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzviach Yeshua. V'ne'eman atah l'hakayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, v'kadoshim b'chol yom yalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Together, you are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. As this is a pivotal moment in U.S. history, we reflect on it with a prayer for our country, which can be found on the second page of your prayer sheets. This was written by Rabbi Peter Stein, and we'll read responsively by paragraph. Eternal God, source of blessing, may this day place on the path to peace. Let us fulfill the ancient and urgent vision of liberty and justice for all. Eternal God, source of blessing, we declare to you we have a dream of safety and equality, a dream of opportunity, a dream of peace. This Shabbat, we remember a dreamer who told us, whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. On this Shabbat, at this moment of national transition, let us all feel the pain and the urgency. Let us all see clearly those who are suffering and struggling. On this Shabbat, we remember a dreamer who told us, we must use time creatively in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. The time is now to hear the voices of all those yearning to breathe free, to see the marvelous rainbow of faces of all those searching for safety as their true and authentic selves. The time is now to remember the sacred teaching of the prophet, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. On Monday, as the presidential oath is taken for the 74th time, let us take an oath as well, that we will live in pursuit of the dream of a more perfect union, the dream of liberty and justice for all. As Moses blessed Joshua, may we all be blessed with strength and courage in our hearts. May we all be blessed to create a bright and better future for our country. Amen. we offer prayers for our country, we continue to offer a prayer for peace, for America, for Ukraine, for Israel, for the Middle East, for our own hearts that seek peace and comfort and tranquility. We share in Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace, page 178.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. B'tov beinecha levarech et amcho Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We continue with our own private prayers for peace.
Oseh shalom b'mramav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We turn now to our Torah service on page 364. We invite to join us on the bima, Marcy and Jenna Keltai. Please rise.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, u'velor Adonai בשמיים ובארץ, בשמיים ובארץ, אדוני הממלכה, והממצא ונצא לכל ראש. Israel ve'oraita Yerushalayim kadhu. Israel ve'oraita v'Yerushalayim Torah ora, Torah ora, Hallelujah. Torah ora, Torah ora, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Torah ora, Torah ora, Hallelujah. Torah ora, Torah ora, Hallelujah. Israel ve'oraita ve'kodesh haberichu chamu. Israel ve'oraita ve'kodesh haberichu chamu. Torah ora, Torah ora, Hallelujah. Torah ora, Torah ora, Hallelujah.
Please be seated. Giving us a preview of his Torah reading tomorrow morning, we invite up Justin O'Brien to share some Torah, and offering up the blessings over the Torah, Josh Pagan. Our Torah portion is Shemot, the first portion in the book of Exodus. And if you'd like to follow along as Justin reads, it's on page 350, not in your prayer books, but in the large Torah commentaries under the seats in front of you. He'll begin with Exodus 3, chapter 3, verse 1.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Umoshe haya ro'eh etzon yitro choteno kohen Midian vayinhag et hatzon achar hamidbar vayavo el har ha'elohim choreva vayera malach Adonai elav bilabat esh mito asana vayar vehine hasana bo'er ba'esh vehasina enenu uchal vayomer Moshe asurana ve'er'eh et hamareh hagadol hazeh madua lo yivar hasanah.
The Torah portion that we just chanted is the burning bush and Moses' call to lead the Jewish people, something that some people don't know, even though they may have been part of this temple for many, many years, is the ark doors that we have represent the burning bush and that moment. So if you've never seen that, come up after services and look closely and see that's what it represents on our ark doors.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'haye olam nata b'tohenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. With the Torah out in front of us, we offer some special prayers of healing and hope. For 16 months, we've been praying for the return of the hostages taken by Hamas into Gaza. Word is that some of them are being returned on Sunday. We hope alive and healthy, but we fear the worst and hope for the best for all of them returned. Until every hostage is returned back to Israel, there is no true ceasefire. And so we join in a prayer for the guarding, redeeming, and freeing of the hostages, hopefully for one of the last times that we need to say it. It's on the third page of your prayer handouts. We read together. May God bless the hostages taken captive by our enemy and all those missing and unaccounted for, citizens, soldiers, men, women, and children who are imprisoned and in grave danger. May it be your will, God of all, that they be released speedily and return to their families and their homes, safe and sound in body and in spirit. Plant the hope in their hearts of their loved ones, frantic and yearning for their release. Bring wisdom to the hearts of those laboring for their release, and compassion to the hearts of their captors. May God grant mercy upon them and save them from trouble to well-being, from darkness to light, from enslavement to redemption. May it be swift and soon, and let us say, Amen. Amen. Closer to home, we offer a prayer of healing for those in our family and friends who need our strength and love, for people here in our sanctuary, for people watching us on our live stream, for people we hold in our hearts everywhere. As a Temple family, we're especially thinking of for healing Debbie Ball, Larry Bloom, Jack Freeman, Stanley Friedman, Arnold Gilbert, Barbara Gilbert, Arlene Green, Jody Ann Herman, Laura Kowalski, Brenda Levinson, Don Levy, Scott Scheidlauer, Roberta Traeger, Rochelle Weinberg, Elaine Wall, Renee Weisbaum, Joel Pikus, David Haney, Ken Cohn, Nathaniel Rubin, Evelyn Grossberg, Carol Hofer, Edie Weiner, Deborah Byron, Migdalia Feliciano. We add other names to our hearts. If you're thinking of someone in particular for healing, we ask you to share their name out loud here in the sanctuary or on the chat on the live stream. For all those we can bring healing to, we share together in a Mishaberach for healing in our prayer books in the middle of page 371. Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha v'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikol we lift and dress the Torah, please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה.
We return the Torah to the Ark with the words on page 374, and we invite Brenda Zuckerman and Abby Clyer to join us on the bima.
עץ חיים היא, למחזיקים בה,
Please be seated. Sharing some words tonight is our own temple member and social action team member, Rabbi Erwin Goldenberg. What some of you don't realize, because even if you've known Rabbi Goldenberg for years and seen him all over temple, is he had a whole life before he came to Forest Hills. For many years, he was the rabbi of Temple Beth Israel in York, Pennsylvania. We invite Rabbi Goldenberg to join us on the bima.
Thank you, Rabbi, for the honor. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's really important, it seems to me, that we celebrate the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. As a result of his vision and leadership. The civil rights movement brought about tremendous progress toward justice. It made our country a better place. I also need to mention that he was a strong supporter of the state of Israel and the Jewish community. And he would join in celebrating the kind of peace work which he advocated and is hopefully bringing home our hostages and ending the Gaza war. But we Jews should be proud that much of the Jewish community took part in the civil rights movement. We marched with King. We helped pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Some were actually written in the offices of our Religious Action Center for Reform Judaism. We were moved and we were encouraged by our Torah and its message of a successful freedom movement, the Exodus. We would have read, if we went a little bit further in the reading tonight, the beginning of that Exodus story. In this portion, God says, I have marked well the plight of my people in Egypt and have heeded their outcry because of their taskmasters. Yes, I am mindful of their sufferings. I have come down to rescue them from the Egyptians and to bring them out of the land to a good and a spacious land. That prediction came true. Israel was freed. They were established in their homeland. Progress was made. In past decades, much progress has been made legally, politically, and in terms of attitudes toward race. Since the March on Washington, King's dream seemed to be coming true. You know that dream. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today, he said. It seemed evident to some of us that this dream was furthered with the election of Barack Obama, but the backsliding began immediately. And the Supreme Court, which effectively gutted the Voting Rights Act, Congress has not been willing to fix. Some believe that Kamala Harris's loss was partly due to the fact that she's black and a woman. So it seems now that our belief in that dream of a country united in tolerance and respect for all is instead succumbing to fear and mistrust of the other, where people are now being judged by the color of their skin rather than the content of their character. Feels to me as though the dream is slipping away into a state of fearfulness and hatefulness. How do we deal with this? How do we banish this fear of the other that is consuming our nation? We can begin with King himself, who asks, how do we master fear? Of basic importance in mastering fear, he goes on, is the need of getting out in the open the object of our fear, and frankly, facing it. Human life is full of secret fears. A further step, he says, in mastering fear is to remember that it always involves the misuse of the imagination. I believe he's teaching that such fear is ultimately misplaced. A misuse of the imagination that that other person is someone to be feared. And it can be relieved when we get to know the person as a person. And furthermore, the mistrust that we feel is contrived, often for political advantage, by fearmongers. I'm going to go a bit further. I'm going to assert that such fear of others because of their race or color is silly. When we realize that we have given into it and allow our feelings to be manipulated, I, for one, feel foolish. A story appeared in an Atlantic City newspaper some years ago, which illustrates my point. On a weekend in Atlantic City, a woman won a bucket full of quarters at a slot machine. She took a break from the slots for dinner with her husband in the hotel dining room, but first she wanted to stash the quarters in her room. "I'll be right back and we'll go and eat," she told her husband, and she carried the coin-laden bucket to the elevator. As she was about to walk into the elevator, she noticed 2 men already aboard. Both were black. One of them was big, very big, an intimidating figure. The woman froze. Her first thought was, these two are going to rob me. Her next thought was, don't be a bigot. They look like perfectly nice gentlemen. But racial stereotypes are powerful, and fear immobilized her. She stood and stared at the two men. She felt anxious, flustered, and ashamed. She hoped they didn't read her mind, but knew that they surely did. Her hesitation about joining them on the elevator was all too obvious. Her face was flushed. She couldn't just stand there, so with a mighty effort, she picked up one foot and stepped forward and followed with the other foot and was on the elevator. Avoiding eye contact, she turned around stiffly and faced the elevator doors. Just as they closed, a second passed, then another, then another. Her fear increased. The elevator didn't move. Panic consumed her. My God, she thought, I'm trapped and about to be robbed. Her heart plummeted. Perspiration poured from every pore. Then one of the men said, hit the floor. Instinct told her, do what they tell you. The bucket of quarters flew up in the sky as she threw out her arms and collapsed on the elevator floor. A shower of coins rained down on her. Take my money and spare me, she prayed. More seconds passed. She heard one of the men say politely, ma'am, if you'll just tell us what floor you're going to, we'll push the button. The one who said it had a little trouble getting the words out. He was trying mightily to hold back a belly laugh. She lifted her head and looked up at the two men. They reached down to help her up. Confused, she struggled to her feet. When I told my man here to hit the floor, said the average size one, I meant that they should hit the elevator button for our floor. I didn't mean for you to hit the floor. He spoke genially, but he bit his lip. It was obvious he was having a hard time not laughing as you are doing. She thought, my God, what a spectacle I've made of myself. She was too humiliated to speak. She wanted to blurt out an apology, but words failed her. How do you apologize to two perfectly respectable gentlemen for behaving as though they were going to rob you? She didn't know what to say. The three of them gathered up the strewn quarters and refilled her bucket. When the elevator arrived at her floor, they insisted on walking her to her room. She seemed a little unsteady on her feet, and they were afraid that she might not make it down the corridor. At her door, they bid her good evening. As she slipped into her room, she could hear them roaring with laughter while they walked back down to the elevator. The woman brushed off herself. She pulled herself together. She went downstairs for dinner with her husband. The next morning, flowers were delivered to her room. 12 roses. Attached to each rose was a crisp $100 bill. The card said, "Thanks for the best laugh we've had in years." It was signed Eddie Murphy and Michael Jordan. So racial fear is fundamentally foolish. It's laughable when I come to think of it, though it's no less dangerous. Like the woman who was clearly a decent person, we're embarrassed when we find ourselves having given in to panic. Like when we see a different person coming toward us on the sidewalk and we slyly cross the street and then upon consideration we feel foolish. At least I do. So we may have a long way to go before we overcome this propensity in ourselves and in our countrymen to give in to fear. And we may have a longer way to go before it no longer becomes politically advantageous to incite racist fears. But perhaps stories like this, in which we laugh at our own personal and collective foolishness, are one way to face the fear and thus make it less powerful. May it be so. Amen.
Thank you to Rabbi Goldenberg for inspiring us and reminding us fears are out there, and together we can overcome them and make a better world.
You've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be taught from year to year. It's got to be drummed in your dear little ear. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made and people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught before it's too late, before you are 6 or 7 or 8, to hate all the people your relatives hate. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught.
In a world that sometimes presents us more challenges and struggles, it's important we focus on the good things too. If there's a blessing in your life, a simcha, a happy moment of days past or days ahead, we invite you to share it with us. Raise your hand, and as I come to you, tell us your name and what good thing is happening in your life.
Hi, my name is Nicole, and my simcha is that Justin is being bar mitzvahed tomorrow, and I'm very excited to be able to share it with family from near and far who are here tonight and others joining us tomorrow.
My name is Justin O'Brien, and I'm being bar mitzvahed tomorrow. And I'm gonna have a party with all of my friends, a couple of which are in the back.
I'm Jody. I saw Alvin yesterday for breakfast yesterday. I haven't seen him in a long time. We got together. It was really nice to see him again.
Hi, I'm Linda, and last weekend, granddaughter number 1 and bearded dragon Pebble gave a birthday party for Monty, and it was lovely, and we didn't get lost.
Hi, my name's Eli, and I'm really excited to see my best friend Justin become bar mitzvah tomorrow.
I'm Marty, and next week Karen and I are celebrating our 52nd wedding anniversary.
Hi, I'm Judy, and this is my husband Alan, and we have one son. His name is Robert Gordon, and his birthday is on Tuesday. He'll be 34.
Hi, I'm Aaron Levinson. I want to say mazel tov to Justin for becoming bar mitzvah tomorrow.
My name is Nathaniel, and I have soccer practice tomorrow.
My name is Leah, and I got a 100 on my math test.
Our son Sammy's turning 20 on Sunday.
Well, we hope the coming year brings many simchas. As I always say, sad things and troubling things come to us without any help. Good things sometimes take a little effort. So let's all strive to make this year to find good things in our life to share in our community. We move to the concluding blessings of our service, beginning with the Aleinu in the middle of page 586. Please rise in body and in spirit. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu b'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, Umishtakavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlakim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushmo, Ushmo,
Ushmo echad.
Please be seated. As tonight we remembered the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., there are so many others we remember and hold in our hearts. This week marks the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Bessie Abel, Willie Altman, Charles Bendenun, Harold Bergman, Lila Bernstein, Lorraine Cooperman, Nina Kosminski, William James Davidson, Ruth Diamond, Janet Jmenshadoff, Lenore Druth, Martin Feig, Gladys Feinberg, Ruth Folkman, Hyman Golub, Sam Goodman, Rachel Gordon, Pincus Grebel, Phyllis Hausman, Sarah Ilian, Kathy Kamen, Rose Kane, Charles Kaplan, Abraham Kaufman, Winifred M. Lieber, Margaret Yera, Morris Markowitz, George Miller, Elliot Mogitz, Adolf Muhlstein, Mark Nuremberg, Ronald Perlstein, Shirley Polikoff, Victor Raber, Sarah Reichstein, Cora Rodell, Joseph S. Rodell, William Rosen, Milton Rosenthal, Rabbi Theodore S. Ross, Elsie Selkin, Ella Schmuckler, Herbert Smith, Lenore Solomon, Esther Stein, Sarah Swerdling, Beatrice Teitler, Eleanor Veltri, Max Wagner, Howard Wasco, Froma Wellman. We note in sadness the recent passing of those close to our hearts and always with us. We remember Mindy Schwartz Egan, cousin of Roberta Traeger, Jerry K. Schindler, Greg Hofer, father of Sarah Maldonado, Gloria Ora Gelberg, cousin of Lois Silverman, Howard Gregg, father of Susan Gregg, Enrique Callo Sr., grandfather of Alvin Weingartner. We had so many others to our heart, near and far, those fight for democracy, for freedom, and for peace around the world. If you're thinking of someone in particular to remember tonight, we invite you to share their name out loud here in the synagogue or on the chat in the live stream. For all those we hold in our hearts now and always,
We join in the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma devra karutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalav zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'rechu. Le'elam min kol birkata v'shirata. Tush b'kata v'nechamata. Damiran be'ama v'yamru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'yamru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. V'yamru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort every broken heart. And let us say, amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'yimeru. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Special words and welcome to our congregation. We invite up Andy Kimbler.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good evening, everyone. Thank you again to Rabbi and to Julie and Gwen for filling in for the cantor and for a very moving service. Thank you. Thanks to our musicians, Nitzan, Bonnie, and Mark for their spirited musical accompaniment. We appreciate it. And again, thanks to Andy and Juan, wherever you are, for your hard work making this all possible. Mazel tov, Justin. You did a great job tonight, and you will be celebrating your bar mitzvah tomorrow. You did a fabulous job, and all the best for tomorrow. And congratulations, Mom and Dad. I'm sure you and Brother Jackson are very proud. And thank you for sponsoring tonight's Own Egg, too. I know you're looking forward to tomorrow. And it should be mentioned that Justin's mitzvah project involved him working with the Forest Hills Green Team. You presented to students at your middle school and at the temple about global warming and what we can all do to help this planet. That is most commendable. Keep up the good work and don't stop. And while our e-blasts mentioned many upcoming, and Rabbi Goldenberg, you are not to be forgotten. Thank you for your stirring tribute to Dr. King. That was quite moving. Thank you. And what a story. And as I noted, our e-blasts contain a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of activities, but I want to remind everybody that this Sunday, the first 2025 concert of the Forest Hills Chamber Music Series will blast off at 2 p.m. A second concert is scheduled for Sunday, February 23. These concerts are a result of Cantor Emily's efforts and are arranged by our very own Ari Evan. They are amazing and should not be missed. Information about how to get tickets and how to register for that are in the e-blasts and in the temple, on the temple website. Also of significance is our continued 30th anniversary celebration. As part of this, we hope you will add your names to our legacy and be part of the exciting Torah project. Information concerning how to participate by writing with our scribe in our new Torah is available on our website and in this week's e-blast. Finally, as we have all heard, a truce and ceasefire in the Gaza war appears to be around the corner. We all pray for an end to this conflict and for the safe and quick release of all of the hostages. Indeed, we hope this truce will open the door to a broader and lasting peace for Israel and for the entire Middle East. And in that regard, in a 1967 Christmas sermon, Dr. King discussed the struggle for world peace, and he observed the following: our world is sick with war. Everywhere we see its ominous possibilities, our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, and our nation. And this means we must develop a world perspective. No individual can live alone. No nation can live alone. And as long as we try, the more we are going to have war in this world. He concluded, we must either learn to live together as brothers, or we are all going to perish together as fools. These prophetic warnings still ring true today and should not be ignored. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
We invite Justin back up to the bima for a special presentation from our youth group Toffee, and representing Toffee is past president of Toffee, Jackson O'Brien.
So when current toffee president asked me to fill in for his shoes tonight, I felt it was only fitting that the last piece of toffee I should present should be to my brother. So Justin, I found a second home in toffee, and I present you the piece of toffee, hoping you can too.
Thank you. If you want, you can have it, because I don't know if I like coffee.
From Dr. King's Nobel Prize acceptance speech in 1964. I believe that there is still hope for a brighter tomorrow. I believe that wounded justice lying prostrate on the blood-flowing streets of our nation can be lifted from this dust of shame to reign supreme among the children of men. I have the audacity to believe that peoples everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits. I believe that what self-centered men have torn down, men other-centered can build up. I still believe that one day mankind will bow before the altars of God and be crowned triumphant over war and bloodshed, and nonviolent redemptive goodwill will proclaim the rule of the land. I still believe that we shall overcome. As we prepare for an opportunity to share with each other and build community in our oneg, we invite up anyone who's not quite yet B'nai Mitzvah age to join us up front as we offer our motzi to remind us of the importance of food in our lives and to commit ourselves to bringing food to others. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
Our closing song is Teach Your Children, which can be found on the last page of your prayer handout.
We're hoping enough of you know this that we can get a sing-along going since we're both getting over colds and on our last leg, so join us if you know it, okay? Thank you.
I told you you would cry. So look at them and sigh, and know they love you. And you of tender years can't know the fears your elders grew by. Help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, their children tell, will slowly go by. And feed them on your dreams, the ones they pick, the ones you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. Shabbat Shalom.